Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is advanced shuffle blues guitar improvisation concept. So what are we talking about today? Before I get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. So I'll show you what I'm going to talk about today. And stuff and so on. So we're talking about more sophisticated ways of expression in blues guitar and shuffle blues, and really work specific on the chords with Mixolydian mode, and not just noodle around with the minor pentatonics as beginners would do. I mean, it's cool, it's kind of an expression, doesn't mean it's bad, but we're going to talk about this as well. So let's get started. Yo guys, we have a standard shuffle blues in the key of A, meaning we have A7, D7 and E7. And now when we want to do more advanced concepts in improvisation, we don't just play around with the pentatonics, we really work on the chords, apply to the chord changes and stuff like that. And that takes a little bit more of theoretical knowledge. So the main idea is when you play on the chords is then we have A7 and D7 and E7, we're playing Mixolydian mode on each of those chords. What exactly does that mean and what is that? So when we're checking out the Mixolydian mode, in A it would be this one here. One position of many. Okay, we're just checking out. I cannot show all positions here, but the main thing is to understand the concept. What does it mean when you play with modes? When you play the Mixolydian, this is a Mixolydian, so we have the root note, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the flat 7, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the flat 7, the 1. So that's a Mixolydian mode or scale. If you want to play a Mixolydian here, you have the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. You can play it over the entire fretboard. So understanding the Mixolydian mode is more important than just noodle it around up and down. Now, we're now focused just now on this positioning to understand it a little bit better what we don't want to do now. So this is A Mixolydian. Now D Mixolydian is the same pattern as the one up here. Now on D, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. And on the E, same thing in green or in blue. Now, of course, nobody plays these scales up and down just like this. The Mixolydian mode is pretty specific, and when you want to sound bluesy, you always work with the approach note on the triad. So that's the 3, the 1, 2, this is the triad. Approach note on triad, something like that, and resolve on one of the chord notes, which will be the 1, the 3, the 5, or the 5, okay? Oh. See? So, or here. Or resolve on the upper, or here the same in D. Or here is a try it again. Same in E. And with this alone, you already sound pretty cool. I'll show you. Works pretty fine. What I often do is I do this lettering tricks. That's pretty cool, but you can do as a variation. You can sometimes you do the lettering, sometimes not. So that's quite a way of doing that. You know, you can also do this instead of just making this hammer on. You can make a bending. Also possible, instead of just doing the slide or the hammer on, you can make a bending, or you make the bending here, quarter tone or half tone bending here. But mainly it works best here. Why? Because here we have the connection between the minor pentatonic, which contains exactly the flat 3. Minor pentatonic is 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. So when we do the bending here specific on the flat 3, we make the combination between the minor and the major, or the minor. You can also think it as major pentatonic, the Mixolydian. The major pentatonics is only 5 notes, but it contains Mixolydian as well. But if you do this specific bending here on the flat 3, then you have the most extreme blues expression you want to have. When the D comes, then you cannot do this half tone or quarter tone bending, because then there will be lead to a wrong note, because then it would lead to a 7 instead of a flat 7 on the D. Okay, so here you don't do that, so you switch between that. Okay. And when you go to E, you can also stay on this one here, because it's more related to the minor pentatonics. So you can do it specific when we have the A, you can do this. Let's see that. Now if you want to mix the minor and the major vibe just with 3 notes, the best figure you can do, not to say the only figure, is this one here. This here. Why? Because here, this note is in the minor pentatonics and the major pentatonics and the Mixolydian. This note as well, so there's no difference. But this note here is in the major pentatonics and the Mixolydian, but not in the minor. Then we go here, and this one is only in the minor. So we have the mixture, major, then minor. then go back to major, and then you have the perfect mixture, and creating this tension between those two modes or two vibes gives you a more bluesy approach. Also in the upper position, you go here, instead of going here to 10 to 8, you go here, but then back to the minor. That really works great. Okay, now we do the combination of all this, and you already have quite a summary of tools which you make your sound more wide and more expressive with different types of expression. Okay, now you want to have more bendings, because bendings are really pretty defining in blues. You have this bending here. The second available bending is this here on the 6. So now you count through again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, half tone bending on the flat 7. Here it doesn't sound so cool. You take the upper 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So you go here on the half tone bending on the 6. Same will be on D here. And on E. Sounds pretty cool. Works great. So that's also a great tool to work with. And the last tool, and then we're more or less finished with all the available tools, is just following the chord, you know. So here we have the normal A. This is also an A, is an inversion. This is the tri, this is the root. Here are we with the 5th and the tri. And this connects these two A chords either like this or chromatic. Okay, and if you want to express an A7, then you slide this one down. This gives you you can use that one when you go to the D. Okay, so now we go to D. Fits perfect, okay? And you can do the same thing on D. Here we have the D. We have the inversion. And the same on E. And here, inversion. Let's see how we can work with this. this creates these typical lines, which you know from blues. It comes from these double stops and just moving around through the chords. Yo guys, these were now all tools you need to know to create a really sophisticated and cool shuffle blues guitar improvisation. By not just playing on shuffle blues, it's not really cool to play the minor pentatonics because somehow it doesn't really define the whole thing. But making this mixture which I just showed you, that's really the cool thing. And there you more follow the chords. And these tools I showed you are there's so many variations and licks and whatever, which basically represent these three tools which I showed to you. And the best way to get used to that stuff, just start somewhere, understand what the Mixolydian mode is, understand that it's only a grid and you need to find the essential notes. That means the chord notes 1, 3, 5. Approach note on 3 is also possible to make approach note on 5. Doesn't sound so cool as on the 3, but you can also do that. In jazz, it's really common to make also approach on a 5, but in blues, you make more approach note on 3. And you make the halftone bending on from 6 to flat 7. These are the spots which you need to figure out. Also figure out the resolution points, which are basically the chord. You know, to find out those notes, and that helps you a lot. And I mean, there are many patterns available of the Mixolydian mode. Max, I would say 7. But if you count all the 3 note per string playing on 1 string, then you have more patterns available. And it's always about the same thing. You need to find those essential notes. That's what modes are here for. It's not about playing up and down. Well, you can, but it's more about that's the grid where you work with. And you just, you know, I always bring this thing with the pizza. These are the ingredients. You can, now it's up onto you to create a great tasting pizza. You have salt, pepper, olive oil, and probably mozzarella. Now you just shuffle this around and make it really tasty and nice. And that's the point of the tutorial. I'm gonna write down parts of the licks and grids which I showed you as tabs for you. It's going to be available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy, plus this backing track that can work out with this. But please also join there as a premium member in order to support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for the guitar community. It's also my main social media feed there if you're more interested what I'm doing. I'm doing way more than only guitar, teaching guitar, playing guitar, also composing and stuff like that. You find it all there. If you also want to support me, you find a link to buy a t-shirt here in the description. I don't wear one today, but I have 3 of them. They're cool. Yeah. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Me and Dr. Pink are saying goodbye for today. See you guys.